Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.
Jenny stormed into her mother's house, anger radiating from her like a fiery aura. The air in the room thickened as the confrontation between Jenny and her mother, Sarah, escalated. The dim light cast long shadows, mirroring the growing divide between the two women. Fueled by a mixture of frustration and determination, Jenny locked eyes with her mother. I can't keep living under your control, Mom. It's suffocating. I need to make my own choices, even if that means standing up to you. Sarah's expression hardened. You're making a huge mistake, Jenny. This world is unforgiving. You'll see how hard it is without my guidance. A bitter chuckle escaped Jenny's lips. Guidance? All I've known is manipulation and restriction. You've held onto the reins for far too long. Sarah's voice turned icy. I won't let you ruin your life. You're staying under my roof and will abide by my rules. Jenny's fist clenched, her patience wearing thin. Your rules? More like your desire to control every aspect of my existence. What about my dreams, Mom? Do those matter to you at all? Sarah shot back. Dreams don't pay the bills, Jenny. They won't secure your future. Frustration echoed across Jenny's face. What's the point of a future if I'm not living for myself? I won't let you dictate my happiness any longer. The room echoed with their conflicting emotions, the tension reaching a crescendo. The battle for control and independence unfolded like a storm. Each lightning strike a harsh word, each thunderclap a stinging retort. With a sudden resolve, Jenny declared, maybe leaving is the only way I'll find out who I really am. I can't keep sacrificing myself for the family's expectations. Sarah's gaze narrowed. Fine. Go. See how far your so-called independence takes you. You'll regret this, especially pregnant. Jenny, undeterred, moved towards the door. Maybe. Maybe not. But I won't know until I try. This isn't the life I want, and I won't let you or anyone else decide it for me. As the door closed behind her, the room was left in silence, the remnants of their clash lingering in the air. The mother and daughter were now on separate paths, their relationship strained by a battle between control and freedom. Jenny's dramatic exit left the room in an eerie silence, the tension still lingering like an unspoken challenge. Meanwhile, Quinn would skillfully position herself as an unintentional eavesdropper by the door, couldn't resist the opportunity to add her own spice to the brewing conflict. With a mischievous glint in her eyes, Quinn knocked on Sarah's door with a confident rhythm. As the door creaked open, Quinn strutted in, ready for a showdown. Hi, Sarah, she said with a combative tone. Quinn, what do you want? Sarah responded with judgment. What in the world was that whole soap opera, Sarah? Quinn quipped, her tone dripping with a mix of sarcasm and genuine curiosity. I mean, I've seen reality TV less intense than that. Sarah, caught off by Quinn's boldness, stammered. This is a private matter, Quinn. It's none of your concern. Quinn waved her hand dismissively. Oh, come on, Sarah. The whole neighborhood probably heard every juicy detail with all that shouting. It's practically public domain now. Undeterred, Quinn continued. And let's not pretend this is some Shakespearean tragedy. We both know it's a classic case of control freak meets rebellious spirit. Classic literature, really. Sarah, still recovering from the shock of Quinn's intrusion, snapped. Ginny needs my guidance. It's for her own good. Quinn rolled her eyes dramatically. Guidance, my foot. This is the 21st century, Sarah. Jenny's not a marionette, and you're definitely not her puppeteer. With a theatrical flourish, Quinn leaned in. You're like the villain in a telenovela, the overbearing, controlling matriarch. I can practically hear the dramatic music playing in the background. Sarah, growing increasingly frustrated, retorted, You don't understand our world, Quinn. This is how things work in our society. Not that you'd understand. Quinn chuckled. Oh, I understand perfectly. It's a world of extravagant galas, snobby socialites, and a whole lot of unnecessary drama. But guess what, Sarah? Ginny deserves better. She deserves a life where she can use her own money, make her own choices, and maybe even have a little fun. As the banter escalated, Quinn dropped the bombshell. And you, my dear, are a soulless snob trying to mold Ginny into your image of the perfect debutante. Well, newsflash, that ship has sailed. Ginny is her own person, and I won't stand by while you turn her into some puppet in your little high society puppet show. She's an adult, and a pregnant adult at that. Your momming period for her is over. With a sassy twirl, Quinn was about to make her exit, but Flint walked in. Quinn, undeterred by his presence, shot him a quick smirk before turning her attention back to Sarah. Well, 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 if it isn't the man of the hour. Flint, you might want to grab some popcorn because your dear sister and I are having a front row seat to the most thrilling drama in town, Quinn declared with a theatrical flourish. Flint's gaze flickered between Quinn and Sarah, trying to make sense of the chaotic situation. What's going on here? Quinn, ever the storyteller, jumped right in. Your sister just had a showdown with your mom. It was a clash of the titans, my friend. Before Flint could react, Quinn added with a conspiratorial tone. And speaking of surprises, did you know Jenny might be expecting a little bundle of joy? Drama, drama, drama. Sarah, infuriated by Quinn's flamboyant narrative, shot a disdainful look at her son. Flint, this is none of your business. Go back to your room. Flint, however, seemed more intrigued than Sarah would have liked. No way, Mom. I want to hear this. What happened with Jenny? Quinn, relishing the attention, began to recap the earlier confrontation. Picture this, Flint. Jenny, fueled by a mix of frustration and determination, decides she's had enough of Mom's puppetry. She bursts into the room, declares her independence, and storms out. Classic rebellion. Flint, looking at Sarah for confirmation, asked, Is that true, Mom? What's this about Jenny being pregnant? Sarah, realizing the situation had spiraled out of her control, shot Quinn a venomous look. Quinn? This is a private family matter. You have no right to involve Flint. Quinn, ever the provocateur, winked at Flint. Oh, Flint, my dear. Family matters are everyone's matters, especially when your sister's being treated like a pawn in some societal chess game. And just who are your opponents in that chess game? Hmm? High society has gotten so dark these days. Flint, torn between loyalty to his family and the desire for the juicy details, hesitated. I I just want to know the truth. Is Jenny pregnant? Quinn, sensing the tension, blew a theatrical kiss towards Sarah before she could answer. Oh, drama queen. Your secrets won't stay hidden for long. Flint, let's leave Her Majesty to her castle of control. We've caused enough chaos for one night. As Quinn and Flint exited, the room was left in a whirlwind of emotions. Sarah, now alone, faced the aftermath of the confrontation, wondering how much of her carefully constructed world was on the verge of collapse. The echoes of the confrontation lingered in the air like a storm refusing to dissipate. Sarah sank into a plush chair, the weight of the evening settling on her shoulders. The room, once a haven of control, now felt like a battleground of shattered illusions. Amidst the tension, Flint gathered the courage to address his mother and re-entered the room. Mom, I heard something about money. What's going on? And Jenny, she mentioned something about tuition money. Sarah, still seething, snapped. Flint, this is not the time. Flint, determined, pressed on. No, Mom. It is the time. If there's money missing, we need to know. We can't afford any more secrets. The demand for truth hung heavy in the room, intertwining with the unresolved conflicts that seemed to define the Cooper family. Quinn, ever the provocateur, chimed in from the doorway on her way out. Oh, I love a good family drama. Money, secrets, and a surprise pregnancy? It's too good. Sarah shot Quinn a withering look before turning her attention back to Flint. Fine. If you must know, Jenny took some of our money. She's pregnant and wants to use it for her own plans. Flint's expression shifted from confusion to concern. Use it for what plans? Why wouldn't she ask for it? We're family. Sarah, frustrated, snapped. She's being rebellious, Flint. Wants to live life on her terms. But I won't let her throw her future away, or our families. Flint, growing more agitated, demanded. How much money are we talking about, Mom? And what does Jenny plan to do with it? Sarah hesitated, her composure slipping. It's a significant amount, and she refuses to disclose her plans. I won't support her in this reckless endeavor. Quinn, seizing the opportunity to add fuel to the fire, interjected. Oh, the plot thickens. Secrets, rebellion, and a mysterious plan? This is getting better by the minute. Flint's concern deepened. We can't keep secrets from each other, Mom. It only leads to more problems. We need to talk to Jenny and figure this out as a family. As Quint stepped away to call Jenny, the storm in the Cooper household showed no signs of abating. Jenny, on the other end of the line, answered Flint's call with a mix of frustration and apprehension. Flint, what do you want? She asked, her voice betraying the tension in the air. Jenny, Mom said you took some money. What's going on? And why didn't you talk to us about it? Flint questioned, concern evident in his tone. Jenny sighed on the other end. Flint, it's complicated. I needed the money for something important, Something Mom wouldn't understand. I didn't want her controlling every aspect of my life. Flint, torn between loyalty to his family and concern for his sister, pressed further. How much money are we talking about, Jenny? And why keep it a secret? Jenny hesitated before admitting. It's a significant amount, Flynn. But I promise I'm not using it for anything harmful. It's for my future, something Mom would never approve of. Flint sighed, the weight of the situation pressing on him. Jenny, we can't keep secrets from each other. Mom is worried, and so am I. We need to figure this out together. Meanwhile, back in the room, Sarah overheard Flint's conversation. The realization that the truth was about to be unveiled sent a shiver down her spine. The carefully constructed walls of control were crumbling, and she had to act fast. Sensing the urgency, Sarah interjected. Flint, hang up the phone. We can handle this within the family. Jenny needs to understand the consequences of her actions. Flint, torn between his allegiance to his family and the growing suspicion that something more was at play, glanced at Quinn, who raised an eyebrow in silent encouragement. No, Mom. We need to talk as a family. Secrets only lead to more problems, and we can't keep sweeping things under the rug. Jenny, catching a glimpse of the brewing storm within her family, chimed in. Flint, I'll come home, and we can discuss this together. But please, trust me. I'm doing this for the right reasons. As Flint hung up the phone, a resolute look settled on his face. He turned to his mother, determined to unravel the truth. Mom, we need to know everything. No more secrets. What's really going on with Jenny, and why does she need that money? Sarah, cornered and desperate to maintain control, took a deep breath. The words slipped out reluctantly. Fine. The money. I used it to frame Andrew, Jenny's ex. I wanted to protect her from a relationship that would ruin her future. But now, everything is spiraling out of control. No, I don't even want to believe it for a second. Flint's voice echoed through the room, a mix of shock and disappointment. How could you do that, Mom? His eyes bore into Sarah, searching for an explanation that could justify the deceit. Quinn, never one to shy away from dramatic flair, chimed in with a sarcastic tone. Wow, just wow. I thought I'd seen it all, but framing someone? That's a whole new level of family drama. Sarah, usually composed and in control, was now visibly ashamed. She sighed heavily, grappling with the weight of her actions. I was just trying to protect your sister and give her a life. That gym rat Andrew was going nowhere in life. Flint, incredulous, shot back. Protect her? By framing someone? Mom, there has to be a better way. This isn't how you protect the family. Quinn, troubled by the breaking news, interjected. This is shocking. I never thought you could all stoop so low for your gain, especially Jenny. What's the point of building a life on lies? The room hung heavy with the aftermath of the revelation, a silence pregnant with the tension of shattered trust. The once unshakable foundation of the Cooper family now trembled, and the echoes of deceit reverberated in the air. Flint, struggling to comprehend the magnitude of his mother's actions, turned to Quinn. We need to talk to Jenny. Find out the whole story. Maybe there's more to this than we know. Quinn, always ready for scoop, nodded. Agreed. Let's get to the bottom of this tangled mess. But one thing's for sure, things are about to get even more complicated. As the Cooper family stood at the crossroads of deceit, the path ahead seemed uncertain. In a dimly lit bar, the melancholic tunes of heartbreak and shame served as a backdrop to Jenny Cooper's despair. Clutching her glass of wine as an anchor to her regret, she whispered a remorseful plea for the unintended consequences of her recent choices. I really didn't mean it. And I didn't want to do it, Jenny admitted softly, her tear-stained cheeks reflecting the weight of her emotions. The somber atmosphere enveloped her like a shroud of remorse. Desperation gripped her as she attempted to reach out to Quinn Young, but the messages went unanswered. Oh my God. She must have blocked me because my mom and I framed Andrew. I mean, I don't really blame her. I feel like a crap person myself, Jenny thought. Blocked and isolated, Jenny's emotions cascaded into a chasm of regret. Oh, but please answer, Quinn. Please. I need someone to talk to, she pleaded, frustration and loneliness evident in her voice. Amidst her turmoil, the mysterious figure Charles Yeager appeared beside her, his silhouette blending with the shadows. His enigmatic presence cast an aura of suspense, leaving Jenny both intrigued and uneasy. The melancholic tunes of heartbreak continued, underscoring the drama unfolding. Charles, with a confident yet mysterious demeanor, slid into the seat next to Jenny. Babe, may I humor you with a drink? He offered, his smooth voice cutting through the somber atmosphere. His gaze, like a magnetic force, locked onto Jenny's eyes, adding an unsettling intensity to the moment. Jenny, taken aback by the sudden intrusion, hesitated before responding. I don't even know you. Why are you here? Let me introduce myself. I'm Charles Yeager, he declared, sending shivers down Jenny's spine. Yeager? The Yeagers and Cooper families are sworn enemies. What could he want with me? Jenny thought, the tension rising with each passing moment. A subtle smirk played on Charles's lips as he leaned back, crossing his legs with an air of intrigue. The mystery of the unknown. I find it quite thrilling. Names are just labels, don't you think? Jenny's brows furrowed in confusion. What are you talking about? And why are you talking to me? Charles chuckled, a low and intriguing sound that resonated in the dimly lit bar. Jenny Cooper, entangled in the web of family feuds and forbidden connections. The air is thick with secrets, my dear. The cryptic nature of Charles's words left Jenny both intrigued and wary. How do you know my name? And what do you want? She questioned, her tone a mixture of curiosity and caution. He leaned in slightly, his gaze unwavering. I know more than just your name, Jenny. I know the intricacies of the Cooper-Yeager rivalry. Fate has a funny way of entwining lives, don't you think? Jenny, growing increasingly uneasy, demanded, "Cut the riddles. Why are you really here?" Charles's eyes sparkled with a hint of mischief. "I'm here because your story is far from over, Jenny. In fact, it's just the beginning. And who knows, I might have a role to play in the chapters yet to unfold." The tension in the air intensified as Charles's cryptic words hung between them, leaving Jenny to grapple with the enigma that had unexpectedly entered her already tumultuous life. Jaeger's touch ventured to the small of her back, ushering in an unforeseen twist. This night just took a turn I never expected, Jenny thought to herself, her confusion, vulnerability, passion growing. Simultaneously, in the comforting ambience of a restaurant, Andrew Mason found himself navigating through a sea of unspoken tension with his parents as they had dinner. Faye, his mother, observed him closely, her maternal concern etched on her face like worry lines in a delicate painting. "Andrew, are you sure you're doing fine recently?" Faye inquired, her voice a gentle stream of concern. Andrew, concealed in a facade of solitude, did his best to reassure them. "I'm holding up, Mom. Just dealing with a lot right now," he admitted, the weight of his burdens evident in the weary lines of his eyes. Meanwhile, Andrew's father, sensing the unspoken struggles beneath the surface, extended a heartfelt offer of support. "You can tell me about anything. I will support you," he declared, attempting to weave familial bonds into the unspoken turmoil that lingered like an unresolved chord. But Andrew didn't answer. After they finished their meal and Andrew's parents left, he vacated the booth they had occupied and made his way to the bar. The air shifted as Andrew sought a moment of solitude, his thoughts wrestling with the unspoken troubles that plagued him. A few minutes later, the scene transformed with the entrance of Carolyn Richardson. She glided in like a breath of fresh air, bringing calm after the familial storm. The restaurant's ambience shifted as they settled into an intimate setting. A table for two in a quiet corner, shielded from prying eyes and unspoken judgments. As Carolyn approached, she greeted Andrew with a warm smile. "Andrew, fancy meeting you here. Mind if I join you?" His eyes met hers, and a subtle grin played on his lips. "Carolyn, I'd be disappointed if you didn't. Please, have a seat." Their connection deepened, fueled by the unspoken bond that had grown between them. An oasis amidst the chaos surrounding Andrew's life, the photos and videos she provided became his protective shield against relentless accusations. "Thank you, Carolyn. I owe you for helping me through this mess." Andrew expressed his gratitude. In a subtle shift, the conversation turned towards more personal note. The invitation to dessert served as both an expression of gratitude and a potential search for solace. "I know it's late, but how about dessert? My treat," Andrew suggested, the desire for companionship evident in the soft undertones of his voice. Carolyn's voice, alluring and mysterious, responded, "I'd love that, Andrew. There's something about the night that makes everything feel more intimate." As they indulged in dessert, the conversation flowed between bites and sips, the unspoken tension hanging in the air like a delicate dance. "You know, Andrew, there's a certain allure to the night. Secrets seem to unravel, and truths become more evident. Carolyn spoke with a knowing smile, her eyes locking onto Andrew's. Andrew, intrigued, leaned in, a playful glint in his eyes. Are you saying there's more to the night than meets the eye, Carolyn? Maybe some hidden secrets are waiting to be discovered? Carolyn chuckled, a hint of flirtation in her response. No, you catch on quickly, Andrew, but some secrets are meant to be revealed in their own time. As the moment drew closer, and the air crackled with anticipation, they found themselves on the brink of a potentially unforgettable kiss. However, just as their lips were about to meet, Carolyn's phone buzzed with urgency. She pulled it out, her expressions shifting. I'm so sorry, Andrew. I have to go. Something urgent came up. Carolyn apologized, a mixture of disappointment and responsibility in her eyes. Andrew, caught off guard, nodded understandingly. No problem, Carolyn. Duty calls. We'll continue this another time. Just as they were on the precipice of a potentially memorable moment, Carolyn excused herself, leaving Andrew alone with a lingering taste of what could have been, an unresolved chord in a symphony of the night. Wrapped in the cocoon of a restful morning, Andrew Mason stirred, his subconscious grateful for the reprieve from recent tumult. Finally, a good night's sleep, he muttered to himself, the words a gentle acknowledgement of the peace that had embraced him. As he strolled into the morning light, the possibilities of the new house flickered like scenes from a movie in his mind. Maybe the new house isn't such a bad idea, he mused, a touch of excitement creeping into his thoughts. Imagining it as a canvas, he entertained the idea of renting it out, an unexpected twist in the storyline of his life. Maybe I should change the lock, make it a symbolic gesture of a fresh start, he pondered, envisioning the drama of transformation in the details. The idea of turning a key, both metaphorically and literally, to unlock a new chapter brought a sense of theatricality to his contemplations. Later, at the train station, the parting scene with his parents took on a cinematic quality. The New York City was only 3 hours away from their home. Andrew bid them farewell against the backdrop of a bustling platform, a montage of emotions playing on their faces. As they boarded, his smile conveyed unspoken gratitude and love, a silent acknowledgement of the unwavering support that had been always a constant in his life. Returning the money his mother lent Jenny became a pivotal scene, a turning point with dramatic undertones. Faye, his mother, touched his arm gently, her eyes a mix of understanding and warmth. Andrew, it means a lot to us that you're taking charge of things. We're proud of you, son. Zane, his father, added a layer of reassurance with a smile. You're a responsible young man, Andy. We know you'll make the right decisions. Andrew nodded, his heart swelling with a mix of emotions. Thanks, Mom. Dad. I want to make things right. Faye squeezed his hand affectionately. And you are. One step at a time. Zane glanced toward the departing train, a sense of pride in his eyes. Remember, you got our support. Always. As the train pulled away, Andrew couldn't help but be grateful for his parents. So normal, so steady, But something else stalked his thoughts. A shadow. A dark pool. Like he knew something was coming for him. He just couldn't tell what. The only thing he knew for certain was that his ring finger burned. The sun burst through the curtains, casting a spotlight on Andrew Mason's face. Groaning, he blinked away sleep, the world a haze of memories in the house that was meant to be his forever home with Jenny. The walls whispered stories of laughter, dreams, and promises now fractured by the passage of time. As he brewed coffee, his gaze lingered on the kitchen table, a silent witness to shared breakfast and late-night conversations he was supposed to have with Jenny. But all of that has changed now, and the ghost of their relationship lingered, an invisible weight on his shoulders. Maybe we were building something here, he murmured, sipping bittersweet coffee, like the residue of a love story gone awry. The air hung heavy with nostalgia, each room a museum of moments, relics of a past now fractured. Damn, this was supposed to be our nest, he muttered, the ache of dashed hopes etched in his eyes. But I need a way to make money. And the reality is that Jenny and I are no longer together. Perhaps I should just rent for some extra cash, Andrew thought, hating the idea but trying to be real about his current situation. The decision to transform their haven into a rental property became a reluctant acknowledgement of a future rewritten. Days turned into contemplative nights, Andrew wrestling with the decision that loomed over him. We had plans, you know? Now everything has turned to dust, he admitted to the empty rooms, the loneliness amplified by the echoes of lost dreams. The sun dipped below the skyline, casting a golden glow on the house that held the rubble of a love now dismantled. In the fading light, Andrew sat on the stoop, staring at a horizon filled with uncertainties. I thought we'd make this house a home, he sighed, a weight of heartbreak settling in. The decision to lease the house morphed into a farewell to what could have been. With a heavy heart, he uttered, it's just a house now, not a home. The keys clinked as they hit the table, a somber sound marking the end of one chapter and the hesitant beginning of another. Okay, decision's made. I'm leasing it, he declared, the words a mix of determination and resignation, echoing in the now hushed rooms as if sealing a pact with the memories that lingered. Wandering the bustling streets of New York, Andrew Mason felt a surge of adrenaline fueled by the city's relentless energy. The towering skyscrapers echoed with the promise of a fresh start, and he pondered the possibility of a new career path. Fitness instructor. That's the ticket, he thought, envisioning a life shaped by health and vitality. As he strolled, the vibrations of his phone broke the city's rhythm, signaling social media notifications. Reconnecting with former clients? This could be my breakthrough, he hoped, his fingers dancing across the screen. However, the response was tepid, a digital shrug that echoed the indifference of the concrete jungle. New York, the city of dreams, right? Time to make mine come true. While scrolling through job listings, Andrew's excitement shifted to frustration. Blacklisted? How in the world did that happen? He seethed, discovering an unexpected hurdle on his quest for reinvention. Rejected, rejected, rejected. The stark words on his screen mirrored the silent echoes of disappointment in his mind. The city, once a canvas of possibilities, now felt like a maze of locked doors. It's not about who I am now, but who I used to be. How do I shed the skin of the past and emerge into the spotlight? It missed the urban symphony. Andrew Mason faced the challenge of overcoming his blacklist status, an unexpected antagonist in his narrative of rebirth. The city's rhythm, now accompanied by the beat of resilience, spurred him forward on his journey to redefine himself. Insults and rejections, huh? Social media can be a battleground. The sting of criticism cut through the city's noise, a reminder of the uphill battle he faced. Job opportunities, he muttered, fingers dancing across the keyboard. Surely a jobs recruitment site can help me find something, he muttered, with a kernel of hope. The digital landscape unfolded before him, a modern labyrinth of prospects and pitfalls. How do I navigate this maze and find a path to redemption? The journey ahead promised both trials and triumphs, as Andrew sought to carve a new identity in the heart of the city that never sleeps. Steam wafted through the air as Andrew Mason stepped out of the shower, the soothing cascade of water leaving a refreshing sensation on his skin. He reached for a towel, the plush fabric absorbing the remnants of the contemplative shower. The city sounds, muffled by the bathroom walls, hinted at the vibrant life beyond. What the? Who could that be? Andrew muttered, confusion. The sudden rap on the door reverberated through the apartment, shattering the tranquility. Andrew, wrapped in a towel, arched an eyebrow in surprise. Late-night visitors weren't exactly the norm. Hurriedly slipping into a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, he approached the door cautiously, uncertainty etched on his face. Door creaking open. Opening the door revealed the surprise that Andrew hadn't anticipated. Hugh Williams, a friend from the city's social circles, stood in the hallway, an easy smile on his face. Andrew, my man. Hope I'm not catching you at a bad time. No, not at all, Andrew replied, still processing the unexpected visit. What brings you here? Hugh leaned in, lowering his voice conspiratorially. Well, you see, I've got some exciting news for you. Andrew's curiosity piqued. He gestured for Hugh to spill the beans. Carolyn Richardson is waiting for you at her mansion, Hugh announced with a mischievous grin, as if he held the key to a clandestine adventure. Carolyn? At this hour? Andrew's mind raced to make sense of the unexpected summons. Yeah, man. It's like a scene out of a movie. She insisted I bring you over. Said it's important. Hugh explained, his enthusiasm contagious. Andrew, still in the throes of post-shower disarray, shrugged into a jacket. Well, this is intriguing. Let's not keep her waiting then. With that, Andrew followed Hugh into the city's nocturnal embrace. The promise of an unexpected rendezvous with Carolyn Richardson casting a glow over the otherwise ordinary night. As Andrew and Hugh arrived at Carolyn Richardson's mansion, The grandeur of the estate unveiled itself in the stark contrast of the midnight hour. Wow, it's even more impressive than I remembered, Andrew marveled, his eyes taking in the architectural splendor that stood before him. Still grappling with the twist of fate that marked his recent days, Andrew exchanged a bemused glance with Hugh. "Have you been here before, Hugh?" he inquired. "Of course," you responded with a hint of familiarity. "Carolyn and I have known each other for a long time, and this mansion has been her family for generations." "Ah, that makes sense then," Andrew replied, appreciating the historical significance of the opulent residence. "Well, I wouldn't say that I'm used to it. It's enormous and positively gorgeous. A masterpiece," you clarified. The mansion's facade, adorned with ivy-clad walls and intricate architecture, seemed to harbor secrets within its opulent embrace. As they crossed the threshold, a gentle melody filled the air, the mansion resonating with soft music that echoed through the hallways. Carolyn Richardson emerged from the shadows, her presence commanding attention. The dim lighting enhanced the enigmatic aura that surrounds her. "Andrew?" she greeted with a mysterious smile. "I'm glad you could make it. There's something we need to discuss." The atmosphere within the mansion held a captivating allure, and Andrew found himself drawn into a world where each step echoed with the whispers of magic and mystery. The stage was set for a revelation that would unravel the threads of the ordinary, leading Andrew into a realm where the extraordinary awaited. "So, why did you want me to come by?" Andrew asked. "I just thought it was time we chit-chat and put some things on the table," Carolyn replied. "Fair enough. Well, thank you for having me," Andrew responded, still clueless about what was about to unfold. As they settled into a luxurious sitting room, Carolyn began to unfurl a tale intricately woven with the threads of arcane power and enigma. The city, it appeared, concealed secrets far beyond the mundane, and Andrew Mason found himself ensnared in a web of supernatural revelations. "The magic within you, Andrew, is stirring," Carolyn elucidated, her words resonating with the gravity of ageless wisdom. "New York City is a sanctuary for those endowed with extraordinary abilities, and you are no exception." The air in the room seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly aura as Carolyn continued, her narrative painting a vivid picture of a clandestine world where magic and mystique intertwine with the darker undertones of power and influence. The city, once a backdrop for Andrew's mundane struggles, now revealed itself as a stage where supernatural forces orchestrated a complex symphony of intrigue. As Carolyn spoke, Andrew couldn't help but notice a subtle change in the atmosphere. The room began to glow with an ethereal light, and a tingling sensation danced on his skin. "Oh, why is the room suddenly glowing?" he wondered, his internal dialogue mirroring the astonishment that flickered in his eyes. In response to Carolyn's revelations, Andrew's curiosity deepened, and he ventured to ask more questions. "Do you mean like illegal things when you say covert endeavors?" Carolyn, her expression enigmatic, replied, "Sometimes. Will that be a problem for you?" The revelation that magic in New York City wasn't merely a force of wonder, but also a tool for clandestine and potentially illicit activities left Andrew grappling with a new reality. Is this really happening? Andrew thought to himself, still processing the notion of magic intertwined with reality, listened as Carolyn delved into the clandestine world that existed beneath the surface of the city. Magic? Andrew questioned, disbelief etched on his face. What does this mean for me? Carolyn's gaze held a mixture of wisdom and intrigue. It means you're part of a hidden world, Andrew, a world that operates in the shadows, governed by magic and mystery. Your abilities are a gift, and we're here to guide you. As Carolyn's revelations settled in the air, Andrew found himself grappling with the fantastical truth of his newfound abilities and the existence of alternate realms. Leaning against an ornate pillar in Carolyn's mansion, he tried to maintain a facade of nonchalance, though his thoughts raced in disbelief. So, I'm magical and have access to other realms. Cool. Andrew mumbled to himself, his expression a mix of bewilderment and amusement. The ambiance within the museum shifted, the air tingling with an otherworldly energy as Carolyn guided Andrew through the arcane secrets that unfolded within its walls. Follow me, Andrew. I have so much to show you, Carolyn said with excitement. Andrew, standing at the nexus of mundane and the magical, couldn't help but marvel at the intricate dance between reality and enchantment. The city's heartbeat has a rhythm unseen, Carolyn explained, her eyes gleaming with the depth of ancient knowledge. In your journey, Andrew Mason, has taken an unforeseen detour into a realm where reality and enchantment converge. But how is all this possible? Andrew asked. Doubts lingered in Andrew's mind, and he couldn't help but question the validity of his role in this mystical tapestry. Are you sure you have the right guy? He asked Carolyn, a hint of skepticism in his voice. Carolyn, ever composed, nodded with an amused glint in her eyes. The threads of destiny have woven you into this narrative, Andrew. You are definitely the right guy. Interesting. The guy who can't even get a gym instructor job somehow has access to an alternate reality. Life is weird, he thought to himself. Andrew, now curious and willing to explore the uncharted, quipped, So, what's this other realm like? Are there magical coffee shops and flying taxis? Carolyn chuckled, her voice carrying a melodic quality. While the coffee shops might not be magical, per se, the essence of the realm is quite different from your reality. Time stands, a different waltz, and the laws that govern our world here may not apply there. It's a place where possibilities are as boundless as the imagination. Andrew, still trying to wrap his head around the fantastical, grinned. Sounds like a place where Mondays are optional. How do I get there? Magic carpet or secret portal? Carolyn's laughter echoed through the mansion. No magic carpets, I'm afraid, but portals exist. Accessing them, however, requires training and a key understanding of the magical currents that flow between realms. As the night unfolded with tales of ancient prophecies and the magical community thriving within New York City's hidden corners, Andrew's skepticism waned, replaced by a curiosity that bordered on disbelief. Exiting Carol's mansion into the moonlit streets of New York City, Andrew couldn't shake the enchantment that had now clung to the familiar surroundings. After all that, I don't think I'll ever sleep again, he muttered, still reeling from the revelations. The ordinary had metamorphosized into the extraordinary, and the once familiar cityscape now resonated with the whispers of a magical existence. With each step, Andrew embraced the mystique that awaited him, venturing into a world where secrets danced with the moonlight and magic painted the canvas of his destiny. The next day, sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of twilight as Hugh swung by to whisk Andrew away. A cryptic message relayed that Carolyn desired another rendezvous. Seated in the sleek leather interior of Hugh's car, the city's skyline faded into the background as they headed towards the outskirts of New York City, where affluence resided in the shadows of grand houses. Arriving at their destination, the three-story villa stood before them, an embodiment of opulence hidden within the exclusive suburbs. Andrew, now accustomed to the grandeur of Carolyn's mansion, raised an eyebrow at the villa's modest proportions, a stark contrast to the extravagance he anticipated. "Guess Carolyn likes to keep it mysterious," Andrew remarked to Hugh, the irony not lost on him. Stepping inside, the air exuded an air of anticipation, and Andrew found himself in a room that seemed to hold echoes of countless untold stories. Time seemed to stretch, and he couldn't shake the feeling of being a character in a suspenseful drama. Is she orchestrating a grand entrance? Andrew pondered, glancing at his watch as minutes stretched into an hour. The room, adorned with tasteful decor, became a silent witness to his growing curiosity and restlessness. Finally, the door creaked open, and Carolyn Richardson entered the room, a vision in a form-flattering black silk dress that gracefully highlighted her figure. Andrew, momentarily captivated by her beauty, couldn't help but appreciate the subtle allure in her choice of attire. "Sorry to keep you waiting, Andrew," Carolyn greeted with a knowing smile, her entrance akin to a scene from a classic of film, leaving Andrew both stunned and intrigued by the enigma that was Carolyn Richardson. The atmosphere between them shifted, the room filled with an unspoken acknowledgement of a heated spark between them. In that moment, Carolyn and Andrew leaned into each other. Their lips met in a gentle yet electric kiss. Breaking away, Carolyn's eyes sparkled with an intensity that mirrored Andrew's newfound understanding of the magical realm. "There's something else I want to show you," she whispered, her fingers delicately reaching for a small box she had brought with her. She opened the box, revealing a finely crafted ring with intricate designs that seemed to capture the essence of both worlds, the magical and the mundane. "Wow, that is stunning. It's like nothing I've ever seen before," Andrew said, taken aback. "Andrew, this ring carries a unique charm. Wear it, and you'll find it easier to navigate the magical currents between realms," Carolyn explained, her voice a soothing melody. Andrew, captivated by the symbolism and the enchanting moment they shared, accepted the ring with a nod of gratitude. As they continued their journey into the mysterious realms Carolyn promised to unveil, the ring on Andrew's finger glowed faintly, a testament to the intertwining destinies that awaited them. The ordinary had seamlessly merged with the extraordinary, And in the heart of New York City secrets, Andrew Mason found himself not only navigating magical currents, but also sailing the uncharted waters of a captivating connection with Carolyn Richardson. Then, a tone shift. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have a chance to eat before coming here, Andrew said as his cheeks blushed. Nonsense. Don't be sorry. Let me whip something up for you. You cook? Andrew asked, surprised. Of course. Carolyn fired back, confidently. In Carolyn's kitchen, the aroma of a delectable meal filled the room. Andrew couldn't help but be enchanted by the unexpected turn of events. Carolyn, with an air of confidence, brandished a sleek knife as if casting a spell. How about a steak? I've heard it's the quickest way to a man's heart, she teased, her eyes gleaming with a playful glint. Steak sounds great. Andrew replied, his easygoing nature shining through. As Carolyn began preparing the steak, the sizzle of meat hitting the pan harmonized with the bubbling anticipation in the air. The kitchen, bathed in warm hues, felt like a haven where ordinary moments blended with the extraordinary. But, as fate would have it, the culinary magic took an unexpected turn. An tantalizing scent shifted to a hint of smokiness, and Carolyn's eyes widened as she realized the steak was veering into the territory of well done, bordering on slightly charred. Oops, seems I got carried away with our conversation, Carolyn admitted, her laughter filling the kitchen. How do you like your steak? Medium or well done? Andrew, grinning, replied, Well, I usually go for medium, but I'm open to culinary adventures. Maybe a bit more on the well-done side this time. As they shared a laugh over the slightly singed steak, Carolyn's attraction to Andrew's easygoing nature deepened. There is a magnetic charm in the way he embraced the unexpected twist of the evening, turning potential mishaps into shared moments of amusement. All right, steak a bit more on the well-done side it is, Carolyn declared, deciding to salvage the meal. Actually, if you have two more pieces, why don't I cook us some steaks and you take care of the sides? Deal? Deal, Carolyn said with a grin. As they worked together to rectify the minor kitchen mishap, the kitchen transformed into a space where laughter and camaraderie merged. Carolyn, usually composed and poised, found herself drawn to Andrew's genuine spirit. Amidst the clattering pans and shared stories, Carolyn couldn't help but appreciate the serendipity that had brought them together. The enchanted evening, marked by revelations and culinary escapades, folded like a chapter from a magical story. Finally, the pair sat down to enjoy their meal. The steak, now perfectly cooked, symbolized more than just a shared dinner. It became a testament to the unpredictable yet delightful journey they had embarked upon. As they savored each bite, the lingering enchantment of the magical realm mingled with the flavor of the well-prepared steak. Carolyn, captivated by the harmony of the moment, couldn't deny the growing connection between them. Her eyes, reflecting the warmth of the magical energy surrounding them, reached for Andrew's hand. Put on your ring, Andrew. Let's see how it feels. Andrew, captivated by the depth of Carolyn's gaze, complied. He slid the ring onto his finger. And as it settled in place, a faint red light emanated from the intricate designs. The glow pulsed gently, like a heartbeat synchronized with the enchantment that enveloped them. Carolyn's eyes sparkled with satisfaction, her intuition sensing a harmonious connection between Andrew and the magical artifact. "It suits you," she said with a soft smile, her fingers delicately tracing the contours of the ring. As Andrew examined the faint red glows, he couldn't help but feel a subtle warmth coursing through him. The magical current seemed to respond to the ring, creating an ethereal bond between him and the mystical realms Carolyn had introduced him to. "I can feel something," Andrew admitted, his voice filled with wonder. "It's like a gentle hum or a vibration." Carolyn nodded, pleased with the resonance of the magical artifact. "That's the connection between you and the magical currents. With the ring, you'll find it easier to tap into the energies that flow unseen around us." The two sat in a shared moment of contemplation, the kitchen bathed in the glow of the magical ring. Andrew, still processing the fantastical revelations, felt a newfound sense of purpose and wonder. "Now, Andrew, our journey has just begun," Carolyn said, breaking the quiet. "There's so much more to explore, and I believe you have a unique role to play in this magical tapestry. Should we discuss our engagement?" Andrew couldn't believe the words that came from Carolyn's mouth. "Engagement?" he asked with utter shock.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.
Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.